The biggest mistake that I ever made was letting my wife at the time manage my business. I had several small businesses, construction company, towing, and we got along, me and the ex got along fine for many years. Usually women, if they're not super horrible, usually they won't change for about 10 years. They can pretty much be okay to deal with. But something about the 10-year mark, every 10 years a woman changes. And she'll start getting bored. She'll start feeling like she's trapped at the house, especially with the children. She'll start wanting to go out. But the biggest mistake I made, fellas, is letting that female help with the accounting of the business, help with payroll, help run my business. It didn't help my business. I could have hired that out professionally and had a better service and kept those things separate. Had things put under a trust, under family's name, mother or father. But I trusted that woman. There was no safeguards. She was in to my checking, knew all my business. I had nothing that she did not know about. So when the end came, I was a sitting duck. Remember, the women have all the power in the court systems. So I had nothing. I lost my ass. People say, well, you might lose 50%. It's a 50-50. This is my warning to young men. 50-50 my ass. I lost the majority of my portfolio. Yeah, I could have fought a little harder. I did pull out and I just pulled away. And luckily I had enough. I retired. I pulled out of that town. I left. I had enough money in my pocket and other things, liquidity, that I was able to pull out. I loaded up the truck. I packed it with all the stuff I can get into it. I hooked my trailer up and I packed that trailer down with everything I can get in it. And I left. And as time went on, as I came down here into Latin America, basically to start a tropical garden, I had just enough. I barely made it, guys. And I could think of some of these gentlemen that went through it that didn't have that. Maybe they lost everything, or maybe there wasn't much to divide. I had a lot of stuff. I had businesses, like I said. I had a ranch that I lost. She was into everything. I had no safeguards. I had nothing in a private trust, irrevocable trust. I had nothing in my mother's name, nothing separated. And I was a sitting duck, and the state chewed me up and spit me out, gentlemen. I lost 80%. The only reason I didn't lose 100% because she was going for everything. She was salty. She was upset that I wouldn't take her back after she had cheated more than once. And she was out for blood. She didn't care about the children. She didn't care about financially ruining me. She wanted to see me in a cage. She wanted to see me in jail. That's the message I want to give young men, is it's not 50-50. You're lucky if you leave out with your life. If you get out of the divorce with your life, you were lucky. When you want to separate with a woman, when you tell her that that's enough and you're done, she wants to see you, number one, dead, two, in prison with nothing. Either way, you got nothing. So that's where they want you, guys. And the whole family, even your friends and family, will be on her side. She will play the victim. And the smear campaign starts. Looking back, if I would have kept everything in private trust and distributed everything out, also, she didn't even need to know. Your wife doesn't need to know what the details of the company are. If you have another company somewhere else, they don't need to know that. If you have a rental somewhere, they don't need to know that, guys. If you've got, properties, your wife does not need to know where all those properties are at. You're setting yourself up. Most divorces end in utter ruin, utter destruction for the guys. I completely let my guard down. For 10 years, she knew everything I had, all my businesses, every business plan, every business idea, even my future business plans and what I had been working on. I had started another small plumbing company, and we had done really well with it. It was starting off really well. And there was no reason, looking back, there was no reason for her to be in the middle of anything. And if the wife wants to be in the middle of it all, and she's questioning you, you need to question her motives. She wanted everything when it ended. I had a new girlfriend. She was 21. I told her I wasn't going to marry anybody. I said this was only going to end up in a friendship or some sort of soft relationship. And the ex took to the internet and told everybody I was a pedophile, even though she was in her 20s and actually already had a child. That's what they do. They will smear you into the ground. They will ruin your business. They will ruin your life. You are lucky if you get out alive. But for the gentlemen that are already married and already doing what I did and have your wife into everything, start separating slowly. Just get ready, because I'm telling you guys, it will come. The majority of marriages end in divorces. Start moving things. You've got to do it covert now, because she's going to be watching. But start small and start moving things. Start getting things where is out of her reach. Look in your own life and see. But first thing you want to start with is get you an irrevocable trust and start moving funds into a irrevocable trust, so that way that's not tied to your personal name. Get a few like-minded friends, start a trust, put some family in it, make it interdimensional. So when you have it layered and you've got friends and family in it, and it's a trust, you've got that protection, and then she doesn't even need to know about it. That's what I challenge you guys. If you've already went and done it, start making moves, because when everything hits the fan, you're going to need a support system. You're going to need something. You're going to need some sort of a life outside of that marriage. You're lucky if you end up alive. And if you get to see your children, she's a better one. I know my mom, we went through that when I was young, and that's one thing I can say about my mom is she always let the children see the dad, my father. But a lot of them ain't like that anymore, guys. They're salty, they're upset, even when they ruined it. Even when they're the ones that ruined the family, they will still come to you and they want you face down in the ditch, guys. Number one, they want that. And number two, if they can't get that, they want you in jail. So they're looking for things. They're making reports. Any government agencies will take the report. They're trying their best to label you as abusive, label you as insane, off your rocker. But protect yourself, guys. Start thinking about it. If you can get some property somewhere, get some property. Pay payments on it, whatever, to keep the suspicion off of it. Maybe get an RV, park it somewhere where she doesn't. I'm telling you, I don't care if everything's fine and you two never fight and it's the dream marriage. I'm telling you right now, do a few things just in case. Don't be that sucker. Stay safe out there, gentlemen. Let me know if you're still in a marriage. Let me know if you're doing anything, or if you don't need to. If you've already been divorced, I'd like to hear from you. Let me know what you were left with. I do want to raise awareness for the young generation. I think that's why I'm putting my story out. Is that way maybe it may help some young men. Rest in peace to the guys that's taken their lives over a woman. I had plenty of my friends do that. It's a shame. It's all been programmed in this society. Expectations that we can't meet. Women don't want a man. They want the marriage. They want the fiesta, right? They want the women like the frou-frou. They like the excitement, okay? They don't like being in a marriage for 10 years and more. Mine lasted 19, almost 20. And I had enough of the disrespect. I was cheated on. And that was enough. It couldn't work anymore, even though we had young children involved. The respect was broken, like they do, like many women do. Because remember, women will sit there and break you down slowly. Her dad was an alcoholic, because every day he'd come home and his woman would start bitching about something. His name was Daryl. So Daryl would start, for many years, he would have a 30-pack every day he got off work. He would grab a 30-pack and he would start on that 30-pack every day about 5 o'clock. And by the end of the supper time, he'd have that 30-pack done. And he stayed in that marriage. So that's what he did to stay in that abusive relationship, was turn into an alcoholic. That's how he coped. Other people cope by taking their life. That's a shame. We got to have things built up. Build things up outside of your relationship. Get the trust. You can get the EIN from the IRS for free. You can call them, fill out the SSS-4, send it in, or you can call them with the form and get that EIN trust and put that money in a trust, property, real property, RV. What saved me, and I barely made it. What saved me was having that trailer that I had already converted into an RV. I'd had already put the air conditioning on it. I fully insulated electric, which that's what I like to do. I like doing plumbing and electrical. So I had it sitting there as more or less a toy hauler, something I can go vacation in, and it turned into something that if I didn't have that, oh man, I don't know what I would have done. I would have fell into a trap. I would have lost my children. I wouldn't. So I basically lived in that RV long enough for me to build my home here in Latin America. And I barely made it. Ran out of funds right at the end. I still have things that need to be done. I just can't spend the money. I've got to make sure that I adjust my living with my new lifestyle. So the money's not there for me to completely finish my home. So I've got 2 stories. It's a smaller home on 2 stories. And I thank God that I got it done, even though it needs some paint and we need some stucco, and I want to add some doors and some walls to it. But I'm telling you what, I barely made it. She wanted me to have nothing. She took everything, and so I'm fortunate I had things. I had the solar panels on the trailer. I'd already put a battery bank in it. I had a solar charge controller. Pretty rigged up, guys. You know, the dirt bikes. And if it wasn't for that, I would have totally been screwed. So, because they gave her whatever she wanted. She got the ranch and everything. But that's where it's at, guys. Don't make the same mistake. If you have a wife and everything looks fine, it won't hurt to go ahead and set some things aside. But let me know if you're still married, how's this working out? If you're divorced, what'd you end up with? Peace and love. Be vigilant, guys. Be safe.